What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey back out with another Chris Watts video. And yes, these videos have been out for a while now, a few years now, and we're gonna still watch them together. With you guys at home, we're gonna watch two videos that you guys have sent me and said, Wokey, I want you to watch this and put your 2 cents on it, and I'm willing to do that. One is from Truth Untold. I've been subscribed to them for a little bit of time now. But this one is Nichol Kessinger's Contradictions. And the other one is Nichol Kessinger investigation ongoing. Yes, I know they are old videos. But do you realize that people watch videos from 13, 14, 15 years ago? Why is that a problem? If you don't want to watch my videos, do not watch them. I have to break it down pretty childish because I'm getting talked to like a child. So, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Wokey myself has posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys also very much for the love and support. Keep on doing what you guys are doing, and then do the exact same thing over at Phaedra Midnight. Link is in the description. And then, like I said before, the Truth Untold link is in the description. If you want to watch without me, that is okay. Links in the description. Go watch the videos and so forth. But also go over their channels, subscribe, comment, like, and share. And with that being said, let's get into these videos. And the reason why I watch so many content creators is because everybody has different ideas, opinions. It may be good, it may be bad. But we're going to watch them all together and see if something may be in there, maybe not. And then you get the haters. They're like, oh, Wokey said this, Wokey said... Wow. Okay. Watch the whole video and then tell me that I'm wrong. Okay. And second of all, it's my opinions, my alleged theories. It's not fact. Calm down. But let's get into the video. The first one we're going to watch is from Truth Untold. Let's watch.
I want to point out the massive contrast in how Kessinger was feeling towards finding out that Shanann and the kids had gone missing. There's a stark contrast.
Oh, that she was so heartbroken that they were missing and she wanted to find them? No, she wanted to make sure that she wasn't involved and they weren't looking at her and no connections were on her.
In how she describes what she texted and said to Chris Watts over the few days of Monday the 13th and Tuesday the 14th of August. She begins by describing how she didn't really worry about the fact that they were missing and that Shanann probably left to get away.
Because like Cindy said, and Nicole said, to piggyback off of what Cindy said, oh, she must have just left to punish Chris.
Away for a while, and to punish Chris by taking the kids. I'll first show you clips of her talking about this, and how it didn't really set off any red flags in her mind.
What does this mean? I am not an egg.
But then, I'll also show you clips of her massive contradictions and her excuse.
Please do, sir.
For the change in how she felt. And the change, what she claimed, was because out that Shanann was pregnant in the papers. Take a look at what she had to say about Monday.
She's
the day
pregnant.
Shanann and the kids have been reported missing.
That's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt for the first day, because I was just like, no way. Like, I didn't even think about that. I mean, murder was not
on the top of my mind. Right.
Not on the top of my mind when somebody doesn't come home for an evening, especially if they've just, like, had some sort of, like, heated conversation. It's like, okay, you guys are separating, you have a heated conversation, you leave for a night. Like, I didn't even think this guy killed his wife. I mean, that like, murder isn't something on the top of my mind when I call one of my friends for 3 or 4 hours and she doesn't answer the phone. Like, that doesn't even process to me as like a real thing.
And the dad's like, yes, Nichol, just like we rehearsed. Yes, you're doing great.
That is a possibility at that point. What's going on, you know? But first when he told me like his family was like not home, that didn't really seem odd to me that his family wasn't home. It was really vague. I'm like, okay, like, are they at the grocery store? Like, elaborate. And so, you know, and then, but he says, call me like it's like an emergency, but then just says that they're not there. And so I'm like really like floored by that. Well, not like floored, but just kind of like, and I'm like, why would this girl call the cops? Yeah, I'm like, I honestly do not remember the order of operation.
They called the cops because someone is missing.
Told me like she was gonna go to a friend's house, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she left, you know, maybe she just like went to her friends. And then I think I don't remember, but I think he was the one that told me that her cell phone and her purse were still there. I think he told me that.
He told you her cell phone and purse were still there?
I think he did. I don't remember.
So shouldn't they go through the text messages and validate to see if that's what happened? If he told her that? And why would he tell her that? Why would she have to know?
What's the significance of that in your mind at that time?
At that point, I thought this woman was really trying to get out of this house.
Okay.
Really trying to get out of the house, but left her purse and phone there. Does that sound sensible?
That's what I thought, because he said that they'd had a disagreement, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I leave my cell phone at home.
When he said disagreement, what?
I never leave my phone at home. I take it with me. It's literally a part of me because for emergencies, if I get in a car crash and my last dying wish is to call my parents or my kid or my spouse, if I have time, or if somebody needs to get a hold of me, I want them to be able to. I never leave this at home. Might be bad that I don't disconnect from this as much as I should, but this is like, yeah, it's important.
Did he tell you what it was about, or?
Not at that point. Not at that point. So, again, like, you guys are going to have to check these texts, because it's all, like...
And they don't check the text. They were only able to recover some of them, not all of them.
But I remember him saying that, and I'm just thinking, like, well, maybe she was in a rush, you know? Like, maybe she was just like, I'm going to my friends. I'm leaving my cell phone here because I don't want you calling me. I don't want anyone else calling me. I mean, there are days where, like, when I'm outside of work, I will just shut my phone off. I just do it, and it's, like, my way of getting peace. So to me, that, I mean, like, it was weird that it wasn't even that weird to me that she left her phone just because I leave my phone, but it was weird to me that she left her purse. But knowing the fact that that girl was, like, always on her phone, then, yeah, I guess that is kind of odd.
Like, she lived
How'd you know that she was on her phone all the time? Mm-hmm.
on her phone, I think,
yeah.
pretty much, is my understanding of her and a phone. So, I don't know if you knew that
I did.
until prior to the media stuff, or just from Chris.
I did.
So, did that strike you as odd? But you're thinking maybe she just left.
I just thought she needed to, like, get away from the situation. I mean, that didn't seem that awkward to me, that a couple that is going through separation would be like, I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even, like, process. I was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know? And on that note, too, so he's, like, texting me a lot of this information, and I'm starting to kind of freak out. And it's not like I'm freaked out, like, oh, she got murdered. I mean, that is not what I thought. It's like, okay, like, the way I looked at this, like, apparently his wife had been gone. Kind of throws her off the trail of where she's at, you know? And it's like, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, he really made this sound like this woman was just, like, upset, left the house, and that was probably what he thought happened to her. And so I didn't really put too much, like...
Did he tell you the kids were missing as well
Yes,
with her?
I knew.
Okay.
I mean, which alone with her. And I was like, and if for some reason you are alone with her, I told him, I was like, I really thought she just left. I did. I was like, get your phone, put it on video and put it in your pocket. And I was like, and just zip it up. What was going on? I assumed that she had left, so I was like, well, when you
Why would he put his phone on FaceTime in his pocket? What is that going to do?
get back, because I knew that they were going through to.
What were you thinking at that time?
This was like on Monday. Again, at that point, I was like, I still thought she left. I mean, this was all on Monday. Like, I legitimately thought this woman left the premises with her kids and just wanted nothing to do with him for like 24 hours.
So his story was believable that she was,
Pretty much.
she's just leaving and she's with a friend.
That was kind of what he thought, and that's kind of what he had me believing. And at the time, I wasn't really alarmed because it'd been like a half a day.
Sure.
And so then Tuesday rolled around.
At the time, I wasn't really alarmed. You were alarmed for yourself.
And now take a listen to the difference in how she describes feeling on Tuesday. And how you can...
So that interview that we just watched was on Thursday. And now we're going to watch the one on Tuesday.
Go from not worrying at all and thinking Shanana just left to, in her words, freaking out and being scared.
So Tuesday rolled around, and she still wasn't around. And this is when I started getting kind of sick. Like, my friend Jim was sick on Monday when he came up, and I don't know.
Kind of sick?
Feeling like crap as it was.
Signs of guilt. Sleeping disorders such as insomnia, fatigue, stomach-related problems like indigestion, muscle pain, lethargy, experiencing heaviness in the whole body. I know when I felt guilty of, like, back in the day, yeah, I stole from my dad. To this day, I feel still terribly bad. But when I knew I was caught in guilt, or when I took the money, I felt the same stuff. Like, I knew I was guilty. I couldn't sleep sometimes. I had this kind of stuff. And I was guilty. And then a couple days went by, I got caught. So this definitely makes a lot of sense of why she was, I don't feel good. I think it's because I'm worried for this woman that I was having an affair with her husband. And now, with her being missing, I feel so much sickness. The woman was upset because she didn't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form. And that's why she distanced herself by deleting messages and pictures and so forth, and to show that she was not involved in some shape or form.
And then I was just kind of having a hard time focusing and, like, thinking about what was going on. And I'd asked him a few times, I'm like, where's your family, Chris? Like, where's your family? You know, and he would tell me, like, oh, I don't know. Or I didn't even make it through the entire workday. Like, I was feeling really, really sick, like, in general. And then I got so sick.
Guilty people
like,
feel sick.
Go. I just, like, packed my stuff and I left work. And I went home. And so Tuesday, after that conversation, I told him, I was like, I told him to delete his text because I knew he was, like, going crazy texting me, and I didn't want any of his friends
That's why? Okay.
to see him texting me because I don't think they knew about me. It had nothing to do with you guys. It was just like, I mean, and you'll see them, you know.
The secret.
And, like, I kept telling him I was scared. I was really freaking scared. In fact, that's another thing I'm missing. I'm so tired. Monday night, like, I called him back in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. And I remember when I called him, he sounded like he was
Because your plan was fumbling out of control.
sleeping. And I was like, how the hell can you sleep right now? I think that's exactly what I said to him. And he was just like, I'm just kind of dozing off and on the couch.
So why is she
And I just
freaking
remember
out
thinking,
and
like,
not able
I
to
haven't
sleep?
shut my eyes.
That does make sense. This guy is right. Why would she be freaking out if she just thought that she left? She was punishing Chris. Why would she freak out? This guy makes a lot of sense.
yet. And this is not even my family. And so that happened on Monday night. So then I was going somewhere with that had to do with Tuesday. I kept asking him too, like, what did you do, Chris? What did you do? And he was like, I didn't do anything. And I'm like, where's your family? And like, I asked him that. I don't know if I started.
I wonder if Chris has ever seen these. You know, like it would have been impossible for him to see this because he was already apprehended and under lock and key by this point. But I wonder if like he's ever, you know, sometimes prisoners are able to watch certain TV in like the rec room or the common rooms, or they call it the day room and so forth. I wonder if he's actually watched any of this. I highly doubt it, but I'm just curious.
Doing that on Tuesday, or if I started doing that on Monday. But I think it was Tuesday, because I don't really think I was that alarmed on Monday. And then in my head, just...
You were alarmed on Monday because it just happened. And then when it started snowballing out of control, by Tuesday, you're freaking out.
Kind of like stressed out. And I remember I like walked out of the room, went in my bedroom, and texted Chris one more time. And I told him, I was like, if you did something bad, I was like, you're going to ruin your life. And I was like, and if you did something bad, I was like, you're going to ruin my life. And I was like, and I promise you that.
You ruined your own life. You should have waited till he was either separated or not gone after a married man.
And he responded back to me, and he's like, I didn't hurt my family, Nikki. And that was like the last text. That was the last time we ever talked. And I never said another word to him after that.
That was Tuesday.
That was Tuesday.
Did she know for a fact that something bad had happened?
And then he left me alone. He gave me the space that I asked him.
You said that. What are you thinking? What were you thinking, that he maybe did something to his family?
Yeah, I started getting really scared.
What caused that thought?
The fact that he lied to me.
Okay.
And that she still wasn't home, and it was day 2. Like, I figure if you're upset for a day, you leave for a day, but you come back. It made me, like, I just started getting scared. And I remember, like, telling him that throughout the whole day. Like, I don't even know how many times I texted him that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like, 8-10 times. Where I'm just like, I'm scared. And one of the last texts that I sent to him, too, I told him, I said, I'm scared because I feel like I don't know who you are anymore. And
his response to
guilt.
I don't even...
She admits she's freaking out on Monday night too, and that she can't sleep. So which one is it? Do you start freaking out on Tuesday after you found out that Chris had been lying to you? Or was it Monday night when you said you didn't pay much attention to the fact that they've gone missing? It's a complete and utter contradiction.
Huge.
And it's because
this guy picked up on it. No one's going after this guy.
I think she's lying. I just don't understand.
I don't understand either.
If she had no involvement in the disappearance of Shanann and her kids.
Why was she scared? Why was she confused? Why did she delete everything?
How Kessinger can go from not worrying in the slightest to really scared and even accusing Chris of hurting his family. And this is before anything had come out about the murders.
And she said Jim was sick too. Why was he sick? Because he didn't want to get caught?
There's so much anxiety.
I mean, the call that she made morning that pinged was in Frederick, Colorado to Jim.
Anxiety and being scared can make you feel sick. Sick to your stomach. But there's also something else that can do the same, and that is guilt. I do think that the reason for these contradictions and the difference in how she was feeling from one day to the next is that she knows that the cops...
Monday, she was not worried because the murders happened. They thought they were going to get away with it. But then Nichol Kessinger came in, said, don't call, or I'm going to call the police. Chris said no. Then the police got involved. And then she's like, oh my gosh, now I'm getting scared because this is not how it's supposed to happen, Chris. This is how it was supposed to go. We're supposed to go to Aspen together on the weekend because he was looking at places to go with Nichol after this happened. And then Tuesday, now she's scared? Yeah, because she knows that there's police involvement and she's going to be talked to.
The texts even though she tried to delete them all. And through these interviews, she knows she needs to come up with a reasonable excuse as to why she's texted some of the things she did. So I think Kessinger knew a lot more than what she let law enforcement know. And it begs the question, was she involved in the disappearance of Shanann? Or was she a witness to Chris or someone else doing something unlawful? Because she says to the cops, remember, we're a team.
But the thing that bothers me too, if she's so innocent and the police have said, yep, they ruled her out, whatever, show us so we can stop talking about the case. You want us to shut up about this case? You want us to move on and go to a different case? Then show us that she wasn't involved. You guys say you have evidence of that. Why can't the public know? Is that too much to ask for?
Describes herself as a witness. And my question is, a witness to what? Thanks for watching. I'm Truth Untold.
I like it. All right, so this one was dated 6 years ago. So pretty much right around when the murders happened. I mean, it's going to be 7 years this year. But this is the Nichol Kessinger investigation ongoing back then.
Hello, everyone.
Ooh.
And in this video, I'm going to tell you the reasons why I think Nikki is still being investigated. First off, I want to start out by saying that I do not believe that she is in the witness protection program. I do not believe she ever was in the
I have ways to prove it. I just can't prove it because the person that sent me the information wants me to keep it hidden, because if I did show it, it could possibly put that person in danger. So that's why I haven't said anything.
Witness protection program, because she does not meet the requirements for that type of a program. I also don't.
She never changed her name, at least in 2023. I've seen her signatures. It's not Nicole Lee's or Sophia Miller, whatever name she thinks she's going by. She might use different aliases. I mean, like me, I'm Nick, but I go by Zwoki. Back in the military, for some reason, I was Hugs, because Hughes, So she never changed her name. She never went into witness protection. She was a protected witness at the moment of the time of the case.
I believe that anyone on YouTube is going to be solving this crime or getting her arrested in any way.
I don't want to solve this crime because it's technically already solved-ish. We just think that there's another person that was involved, a secondary. And the police or the DA, whoever, says that they gave information to the Ruseks, which, thank God, if they did, great. But why can't we see it? If you want us to stop talking about it, like the DA said in his wife's podcast, stop with the witch hunt. She wasn't involved. Get over it. Move on. So if she wasn't, let us see it. Then we will shut up.
I think the FBI, the CBI, and all...
We're allowed to have freedom of speech, and we're allowed to give our 2 cents. May not be good 2 cents, but we're allowed to give it.
All investigators involved are fully capable of solving this on their own. I do, however, personally think that she is still being investigated, and I will give you a breakdown of some of the reasons why I think that. And I'm not alone in the reasons that I think.
There's millions.
First off, if you listen to the words of Miss Sandy Rusek at the sentencing hearing, she says that God will make sure that the evil people are where they belong. Well, we know Chris is one of the evil people, but could NK possibly be one of the other evil people that Sandy is referring to? Also, if you listen to the attorneys for the family on the Dr. Phil show, they said they also, one of the reasons that it could be possible that they were going to speak with Chris at the prison was the possibility that they were still investigating someone else?
I think that's why they went there in February. There is mixed feelings about it. Some people think that's not why they went. I think that's why they went. They wanted to see if there was somebody else. Did they get that information? Not really. But he pretty much at that time said, hey, it was me. I did the girls. I also did Shanann. But then why would he write in letters that it was his Jezebel and this woman led astray and whatever have you? So, I mean, it's just something to kind of think about.
The other thing, when they asked Chris about NK at the prison, she's almost one of the very first things that they bring up to him, and she's also one of the very last things. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they wanted to leave.
Knowing anything
They wanted
about
to
her.
leave there with her being like one of the last things that were spoken about. Leave that fresh in his mind, and they started out with her. They also asked him about, they're fully aware that a lot of people on the internet feel that she was involved. They even said it flat out. They told him that. They told him that a lot of people think that she was there that night. They think she might have been in the basement. They think she was involved. They think she could have been the mastermind.
Why else did her phone ping there?
And when they asked him that point blank, instead of him just saying, no way, why would they think that? He didn't say that at all. He just kind of talked in circles and said, oh, well, sometimes she had to be talked off of a ledge. That's just not the kind of a response that I would expect somebody to have if they knew full good and well that this person was not involved with a murder that they committed. Can you imagine somebody asking you that question and you knew that your friend had nothing at all to do with something like that? Wouldn't you be like, no, gosh, why would people think that? Or ask a question like, wow, really? That people are thinking that? Why would they think that? He doesn't do that at all. Not a question one was asked, at least that we know of. Because I know that I do believe that some of that tape was held back from the general public, along with
I think there's pieces
over
missing.
200 pages of the discovery that you have
Been
to remember
redacted.
has also been kept from us. I think a portion of those are possibly interviews with Jim. Leave Jim alone.
I don't think they ever talked to Jim. They actually listened to her and did not go and talk to him for some dumb reason.
I don't think they left Jim alone. And her friend Brittany, Charlotte, whatever her name might be. Her interviews were not a part of that discovery file. Also, they went back and spoke to Nichol in September. We don't have that. We don't have the documentation or the tapes of those.
We do now.
And
The DA even said they have more stuff. It's just if they made it public, there's so much stuff to look at. And yet they wonder why we want more info.
opinion. The way that Nikki was pressuring them to find out information about if they had gotten her text messages
She was listening in on the conversation.
back, and just the way she wanted to be all involved with the case at the beginning and on her tapes
I really want to help you guys out. That's what she said.
and in her
Excuse me.
text messages, that she would really be pressuring the investigators to clear her name publicly, I think, because she is very persistent. And if, in fact, she knew she had been cleared by them, that she would come out publicly, and she would want them to come out publicly.
She went
and say,
into
"Look,"
hiding.
because look at all the hate that she's getting and all the backlash, and they're aware of it because they told Chris about it. Everybody's thinking she was involved. Wouldn't she be
Set the
asking or
record.
pleading with them, hey, would you go?
Set the record straight and clear her name so she can come out in public. Why is she still technically hiding? It's very hard to get to see her. I mean, when she was just at a funeral not too long ago in Billings, Montana.
And, clear my name for me or make it a statement.
And again, I want to reiterate that woman that was in Billings, Montana, that the mother died, a cousin of that woman, Troy, the gay gentleman that said that Chris was with him,
Make a
to throw off Nichol Kessinger.
public statement to the newspaper, to the media, that, hey, she was completely not involved. No, that's not happened.
Yeah. Put up or shut up.
I also wanted to tell you that I don't believe, like a lot of people do believe on YouTube, there's been a lot of videos, I'm sure you've seen, that they show, Chris walking out to get in his truck, and
I've never seen somebody put this here.
believe that first person walking out with the white socks, I think it's white socks and sweatpants myself, but a lot of people think that was Nichol. I do not. I personally do not. I believe that if they had her on tape walking straight out of a murder scene, that she would already
Yeah, but this is like 360p or 220 or 240p.
be in jail. So, it's my opinion that was Chris walking out of the garage.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
And she didn't have to be there that morning and physically have done this to be involved. She could be charged with other things other than
Exactly.
just the actual crime itself.
She doesn't have to be there to be in trouble. Just her saying you need to get rid of them. You need to take them out. If you don't get rid of them, if she said, if they weren't here, we could be together forever. That you need to watch how you say things.
There's conspiracy to commit murder. She could have helped after the fact. She could have helped cover things up.
She could have told them what to
She could
do.
have had knowledge and not given that knowledge to the police. There's a lot of other things.
A new theory that does make sense is if Chris did the crimes and it was like, Nichol, I screwed up. I murdered my family. And then she's like, you did what? Oh, great. Now we got to do damage control. And then she told him what to do. And, oil can do this and whatever, vice versa. It's just a theory. It's not fact. It's all alleged. So don't be saying that Smokey said that they're going to do that. No, that's not what I said.
Things they could charge her with. And I'm sure in a case like this that they have to make sure that they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's and getting all this information together in order to charge her. It's not going to be as cut and dry as with Chris's case. And just sort of the way that she was acting.
Yeah.
When the police picked her up and took her in and she's with her dad, she's talking
Again, why the F was her dad there? I've never seen that from somebody that's older than 18 until this case. All the other videos I've watched, First 48, real crime scenes, and so forth, and interviews, the parent's not in there. I mean, heck, they did an interview with the babysitter that was under the age of 18, and she didn't have her dad in there. Tell me that makes sense.
exactly the same as she talked the day that she didn't supposedly know that they were dead. Giggling, laughing. There's no change whatsoever in the way that she's acting. It's just very strange to me. She also had been Googling, can police retrieve text messages?
Marrying your mistress.
Hey, when she Googling, she's Googling Ronnie.
Why would you say marrying your mistress if you thought they were separating? Why would you be a mistress? You'd be the next girl. The rebound. The booty call, whatever you would say. But why would she state mistress?
Ronnie Watts. Why didn't she Google the Rusek family? Get their phone number, get their address. Give them a call and tell them how sorry she is, and she apologized, and then she feels horrible for what has happened. She didn't do anything like that. Not at all.
She won't ever.
And I'm telling you right now, she knew Shanann was pregnant. I'm not an idiot, and no, neither is the police. She knew dang good and well that she was pregnant. And I guarantee you she ended up finding out that they were having a boy, and she was putting the pressure on Chris like there's no tomorrow.
Yes, she was.
Probably telling him, fix this. You got to fix this. You can see how demanding and how much pressure she put on him. I mean, he completely changed in a matter of 6 weeks. He fell head over heels in love with this girl.
Lust.
I think she was pressuring him, you know, telling him to get his own bank account, showing him how to do this, doing all this research for him, trying to find him apartments. She's what I call a ramrod person, an overbearing person that can't take no for an answer.
Nimrod.
And if you're a passive person like Chris, a wishy-washy person like Chris that's, you know, can get rolled over, barrel rushed, she's going to put the pressure on him till he finally just flips out. I don't think he flipped out at the night that he killed Shanann. I do think that was premeditated, but
yes.
I really think she was putting the screws to him. Just look at how she acted when he was in North Carolina with his family and how she admits that she kept...
I wanted him to work on things with his wife, but here, let me send some nude photos to him while he's fixing his marriage. Like, what?
Kept calling him saying, have you talked to your family? Family's important. Get with your family. Where's your family? What's going on? What are you doing? What's going on? See, she's like, had to be all up in his business. All up in his business. I wonder why. I simply wonder why. Why was she Googling wedding dresses? He'd been Googling jewelry, and I think maybe he was planning on taking her on a little vacation instead of Shanann after these murders. He's delusional in his head, the way he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. He was thinking, Nikki. And if you remember, I think it was about around December 2018 that there was a problem with a lot of YouTubers, and NK had gotten an attorney, maybe like a public relations attorney or media attorney, and they were telling YouTubers to remove her name and her pictures from their YouTube pages. You don't see that anymore. That's went bye-bye. What happened with all that?
That was a thing?
Is she having to use her attorney for something else other than public relations? It all comes down to the investigation team knows about her. They know what's going on. They know there's public outcry saying that she was involved, or she could have been the mastermind or involved one way or the other. And I can guarantee you, the ramrod that she is, she would be calling them up, bugging them every day, asking them to clear her name publicly. I can guarantee you that. As much as pushy as she is, this is going to have to be taken care of. You're going to have to clear my name.
So clear it, and we'll go on our ways.
That's my opinion.
If NK is so innocent,
And I have to wonder,
prove it.
you know how Chris likes to repeat certain phrases? And he says them all the time. He would say the certain phrases over and over. And one of those phrases was, we had an emotional conversation that morning. We were both bawling our eyes out.
I bet she was.
I just have to wonder,
Not him.
was that emotional conversation with NK and not Shanann? Was it him and Nikki bawling their eyes out? Because I can't see him bawling his eyes out over
No.
Shanann. He wasn't even bawling his eyes out over his own babies.
He bawled his eyes out for his mom.
So I can't imagine he would be bawling his eyes out with Shanann. But maybe Nikki, his little love of his life. I feel he's a coward. I feel he murdered Shanann in their bed. She was probably asleep under the blankets. She might have woke up when he slid into the bed over the comforter, so her arms were inside of the comforter, and she couldn't do anything about it. She was asleep because he was a coward. A coward. He would do that in her sleep. He was not in a rage. There's no way that he was in a rage. You're not in a rage and go downstairs and make your oatmeal and your chicken. No. Do you see how casually he's walking back and forth out there in the driveway?
Yep.
That's not a rage. If you're in a rage, you don't give a damn about going to make your breakfast.
He was calm, collected, and thought he was going to get away with this.
And pack your breakfast for work. That's ridiculous. I don't believe that for a second. All right. Well, that's just a few of my thoughts.
I definitely am glad I watched this one. Yeah, it's old, but I didn't know about the possibility that... Did you guys ever hear that in the beginning of YouTube with this case? That people were supposed to zip their lips on NK? Was that a thing? Let me know. Because I never seen anything that was like that YouTubers, when it first started, were told to knock it off or don't say this name, or Nichol Kessinger or whatever have you. I've only been doing this case for like what, a year and a half now. Others have been doing it since day one, and yeah, I'm the one that's reusing content. Okay. Make sure you guys comment your thoughts down below on this. Definitely let me know about the YouTube thing. Like Miss Rusek said, evil people will be dealt with and taken care of. Yeah, it might not be in this lifetime. It might be in the next one when we go to be judged. And Kay will have her time in front of the Lord. That's not up to us. That's not up to our decision. But I feel that she needs to pay for what possibly that she was involved with on planet Earth. Agree to disagree? Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share on my channel. And again, don't forget to go over to the channels, the 2 videos in the links in the description. Go give them some love. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. You know the deal. And we will see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe. And as always, keep nerding on. And we will see you guys in the next video.